In Eightfold Path, second one, right thinking. When right view is solid in us, we have right thinking. Sarnyaka Samkalpa. We need right view at the foundation of our thinking. And if you train ourselves in right thinking, our right view will improve. Thinking is the speech of our mind. Right thinking makes our speech clear and beneficial. Because thinking often leads to action, right thinking is needed to take us down the path of right action. Right thinking reflects the way things are. Wrong thinking causes us to see in an upside down way. But no practice right thinking is not easy. But to practice right thinking is not easy. Our mind is often thinking about one thing while our body is doing another. Mind and body are not unified. Conscious breathing is an important link. When we concentrate on our breathing, we bring our body and mind back together and become whole again. When Descartes said, I think, therefore I am, he meant that we can prove our existence by the fact that our thinking exists. He concluded that because we are thinking, we are really there existing. I would conclude the opposite. I think, therefore I am not. As long as mind and body are not together, we get lost and we cannot really say that we are here. If we practice breathing mindfully and touching the healing and refreshing elements that are already within and around us, we will find peace and solidity. Mindful breathing helps us to stop being preoccupied by sorrows of the past and anxieties about the future. Thinking has two parts: initial thought and developing thought. An initial thought is something like, this afternoon I have to turn in an essay for literature class. The developing of this thought might be to wonder whether we are doing the assessment correctly, whether we should read it one more time before turning it in, whether our teacher will notice if we hand it late, and so on. Vitarka is the original thought. Vichara is the developing of the original thought. In the first stage of meditative concentration, dhyana, both kinds of thinking are present. In the second stage, neither is there. We are in deeper contact with reality, free of words and concepts. While walking in the woods with a group of children last year, I noticed one of the little girls thinking for a long time. Finally, she asked me, Grandfather Monk, what color is that frisback bark? It is the color that you see, I told her. The I wanted her to enter the wonderful world, and that was right in front of her. I did not want to add another concept. There are four practices related to right thinking. Practice number one, are you sure? If there is a rope in your path and you perceive it is a snake, fear based thinking will follow. The more erroneous your perception, the more incorrect your thinking will be. Please write the words, are you sure, on a large piece of paper and hang it where you will see it often. Ask yourself this question again and again. Wrong perceptions cause incorrect thinking and unnecessary suffering. So, practice number two, what am I doing? Sometimes I ask one of my students, what are you doing? To help him release his thinking about the past or the future. and return to the present moment. I ask the questions to help him be right here, right now. To respond, he only needs to smile. That alone would demonstrate his true presence. Asking yourself, what am I doing, will help you overcome the habit of wanting to complete things quickly. Smile to yourself and say, washing this dish is the most important job in my life. Practice number 3, hello habit energy. We tend to stick to our habits, even the ones that cause us to suffer. Workaholism is one of the example. In the past, our ancestors may have had to work nearly all the time to put food on the table. But today, our way of working is rather compulsive and prevents us from having real contact with life. We think about our work all the time and don't even have time to breathe. We need to find moments to contemplate the cherry blossoms and drink our tea in mindfulness. Practice number 4, bodhicitta. Our mind of love is the deep wish to cultivate understanding in ourselves in order to bring happiness to many beings. It is the motivating force for the practice of mindful living. With bodhicitta at the foundation of our thinking, everything we do or say will help others be liberated. Right thinking also gives rise to right diligence. The Buddha offered many ways to help us to transform troublesome thoughts. One way, he said, is to replace an unwholesome thought with a wholesome one by changing the peg. Just as a carpenter replaces a rotten peg by hammering a new one. If you are constantly assailed by unwholesome patterns of thought, we need to learn how to change the peg and replace those patterns with wholesome thoughts. The Buddha also likened unwholesome thinking to wearing a dead snake around your neck. The easiest way, he said, to keep unwholesome thoughts from arising is to live in a wholesome environment, a calm community that practices mindful living with the help of with the help and presence of dharma, sisters and brothers. Right thinking is thinking that is in accord with the right view. It is a map that can help us find our way. But when we arrive at our destination, we need to put down the map and enter the reality fully. Think non thinking is a well known statement in Zen. When you practice right view and right thinking, you dwell deeply in the present moment, where you can touch seeds of joy, peace, and liberation. Heal and transform your suffering and be truly present for your many others.